It's like Christmas for my ears, part 2. If you haven't noticed, I'm catching up on some headphone reviews as we close out the year. A few more brands to cover, and I think going into next year, audio is going to stay a major component of this channel. Because who wouldn't gush all over a nerdcore boutique brand like Periodic Audio? I covered their lineup last year, and they've also put out a solid DAC and a standalone amp, and these guys are super fun for being legit audio geeks. Great earbuds, great sound, manufactured here in California. They sent over a new pair of their Beryllium earbuds for me to take a listen and share my thoughts. And my thoughts are very happy. Periodic Audio doesn't make flashy gear. There's a vibe on these buds that every penny you spend is going towards the internals and the materials and the audio quality. They don't look bad, but they're plain, simple looking bullets. The packaging is on the simple side, but these buds are fantastically accessorized with numerous ear tips, a fun little metal carry case, the 1/4" and airline adapters, and some ear hooks if you want to flip the earbuds and run the cable over the top of your ear. The hot upgrade for this refresh of their earbuds, I'm so happy to see swappable cables. Periodic earbuds are not cheap, and the last generation of buds made me a little nervous for the boots and connectors kind of being fused into the bullet casing. Their customer support is fantastic, but if you wreck a cable, sometimes it's just easier to get a replacement. Now they've opted for a 2.5mm TS connector into the earbud. You'll have to buy replacement cables from Periodic Audio, but now you don't have to worry if your expensive Buds cable starts to wear out. One funny little goof on this idea though, the connector to the earbud is a smaller TS connector. The TRS connector is the side that you plug your cable into a player or into your headphone amp, and the box shows the TRS connector lining up with the earbud. And that's not the side you plug into the earbud. Now, I don't think anyone who seriously considers this brand is going to be messed up by this. I just think it looks kind of funny. But of course, these are earbuds, so the most important question, how do they sound? They sound really full. The name of the company, Periodic Audio, is a clue to their business model. Periodic table of elements, using specific materials to tune the sound of their earbuds. And they detail this in all their nerdy glory on the website. Beryllium is their all-rounder earbud, and by Periodic site, the master of all and failure of none. And looking at the frequency charts on the site also has the widest frequency response graph. Now I'm grossly oversimplifying here, but there are different audio philosophies. If we assume human hearing is between 20 Hz and 20 kHz, some people feel that's all you should need in your audio gear. Other people believe that the frequencies of sound we can't hear can still influence the frequencies of sound we can. I would need a team of acoustic researchers and funding for a 4-part documentary series to explain this better. You're just gonna have to go with me on this. Everything on Beryllium is just full. This is a full, wide earbud. Extended high-end, extended low-end, plenty of headroom for the mids. There's a clarity in articulation where I could see myself using these for work, but there's a punchy sound which is also really enjoyable for the fun stuff. There's a lot going on in this earbud, and I really like how full the bass is, and I'm not normally a rumble junkie. When the claim is that it can get down into infrasound, sound that humans can't hear but acoustic pressure we might feel, I totally believe it. It almost feels like the lows are just on the shelf. They don't let up, they don't roll off, but it's also nicely controlled at the same time. Especially at these price, I'd be shrugging these off hard if the mids were getting rolled over, or if this low frequency was kind of sloppy. Some specific examples, there's just this rich bed of bass on Daft Punk tracks, but we're still getting clarity on guitars and vocals. Like, they still have their own place in the mix carved out. If the mix gets more aggressive though, it can almost overwhelm. I know I can't, but it feels like Run the Jewels is vibrating from the back of my skull while I'm wearing these. But that also kind of highlights one of the other strengths of these buds, a decently wide sound. Open back cans will obviously be the best option for that stereo imaging, but for bullet IEMs, I like this kind of representation, the way audio floats around my skull. And especially when you use these with the foam tips, they can hyper isolate. When the fit is right, they passively block as much noise noise around you as many active noise canceling solutions. So those who are sensitive to hyper isolation, these might not be the best solution for you, but they're exciting for me. I can almost pull triple duty with these bad boys. They're fun for movies, music, and games. There's enough range where I think I could get a handle on them for mixing, and they block enough noise for me to use as field monitors. Two small concerns that I would like to highlight. Number one, there's a small flex or crinkle sound coming from the detachable part of the cable when you put pressure on this connector. So when you insert the earbud into your ear, you really want to twist from the bullet casing and not from the arm. And two, the ear tips are sent in a vacuum sealed pouch, but this can potentially kill some of the foam tips. I've had them out of the box for days. I've rolled them and then let them re-expand, and some of them just aren't returning to their full plumpness. Not a huge deal breaker, but something I hope Periodic can just take a look at in how they're packaging their accessories. All right, wrapping this review up, one of the things I really like about this brand, I think they're an amazing example of price not equaling quality. That kind of comes out wrong, but I need to explain. Because these are expensive buds, but when you first get into better audio, there's an early curve where spending twice as much gets you a sound that's twice as good. After you gain a little experience and you crest a certain price point, you start spending your money on a more specific sound. So the Beryllium are pricey, but at $400, they aren't twice as good as the $200 magnesium buds from Periodic Audio. Each of the company's products represents a specific solution for someone who understands a bit about what they're getting into. Now, I think someone could just jump in blind and really enjoy a premium boutique product and the novelty of sound reproduction they likely haven't heard on cheaper buds. Even better still, you can reach out to the team at Periodic, and they're super nerds. They're happy to help someone pick out the right earbuds for the music they like to listen to. But if you have just a little experience on your own, I think you're better equipped to land the exact right sound for your tastes. Because maybe your jam isn't Beryllium and you'd be happier moving up in price to Carbon. Or you just really want the more aggressive sound moving down in price to Titanium. The prices aren't a commentary on goodness like we see on cheaper buds. Starting at $200, we should be demanding high quality. It's a part of the conversation that goes hand in hand with all of the options we see on cheaper in-ear monitor style solutions, or the explosion in true wireless that consumers are getting to benefit from. When it comes to something like Periodic Audio, to me it feels like the difference between buying a nice suit off the rack or getting a really nice suit tailor fit to you. Those two suits aren't necessarily going to be made from radically different materials. The costs associated with each suit come down to how well each suit might fit you. So when it comes to your ears, I think your ears deserve the tailored fit. I will of course leave some more information down below this video on Periodic Audio, all of their earbuds and their numerous accessories. I've been having a lot of fun covering this brand. As always, thanks so much for watching, sharing, subscribing. Supporting the channel is always greatly appreciated with links underneath each video. Maybe you're shopping some merch, and you can catch a full list of all my affiliates and partnerships on SomeGadgetGuy.com. But you might consider, just maybe, joining the list of names scrolling by on your screen from my Patreon, patreon.com/SomeGadgetGuy. This list is basically a collection of the coolest tech pals in the universe, so I hope you'll check them out. Now, you know where you can find me around the rest of the internet, at SomeGadgetGuy on the Twitters and the Twitch, Facebooks and the Instagrams, and I will catch you all on the next review.